Every time I went to Boston, I would go into the Museum of Natural History and look at the taxidermy setups there, and I could get a few ideas. And one particular day I was in there and I started up on the second floor, and there were two shelves right beside the stairway with about 20 little small birds. I'd say they were shorebirds, ducks, geese. I looked at them and was quite impressed with them. They were made by Elmer Crowell of East Harwich, Massachusetts, and he was probably the first person to ever make a small miniature bird like that. And I came home, made one, but after I made 4 or 5, I didn't know what to do with them. And one of the summer people suggested that I write to Abercrombie and Fitch in New York, see if they wouldn't be interested. I wrote them a letter, sent them down a couple of samples, made them birds for 13 years. They took all I could make. At that time, one of the buyers from VLNA in Chicago, which was Abercrombie's Chicago store, was in New York, and he was looking at the birds they had there. So when he got back to Chicago, he wrote me a letter and sent me an order for 500 of these pheasants. I looked at the order and I said I never could make 500 of those. I'd go crazy. I'd see them in my sleep. So I wrote back and told him that it was too big an order. I couldn't fill it. Well, this fella here was made in 1930. It's the very first bird I ever made. Stick of wood, nothing fancy. Didn't even know hardly what a duck looked like. And I thought it was great. Though I was pleased with it. So I gave it to a lady over here that used to write for the Bar Harbor Times. And she had it on her desk for 30 years, I think it was. And one day I was over there and she said, I think you should have your first bird back. She gave it back to me and I gave her one that I was making at that time. She said, I didn't realize the difference. And so I've saved this one. That's how it came back to me. Normally I wouldn't have it, but she was foresighted enough to give it back to me. And I was pretty pleased to get it back. Seems though you try just hard you can and then it never comes out right. But then if you just kind of do it in a hurry, first thing you know, it's okay. And some of the best birds I've made, well, you might say almost unconsciously. Oh, there's so many things to learn about birds. In just one lifetime, you couldn't begin to grasp it. Yeah, you wonder. Well, you just never have time to make all you want to like to make. Can't do it. People don't realize how many different birds there are in the world. Fantastic.